My life is completely altered. I will never be the same man. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in Cities Skylines 2, playing our city of Second City. And when we left off in the last part, we built out some bikes and we built out some trams, and they looked great, except for the simulation in the game is really, really slow. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and hit unlock all for the remainder of the game. We've already reached the maximum level in game. We basically have everything unlocked as it is, and the only things we're waiting on to work on our cargo port are for more resources to be delivered to the port, but the boats are moving really slow because the bikes broke. One quick change I am going to make that I kind of realized I didn't realize I had done this, I don't think, but we've got a lot of bikes that are turning here and trying to utilize this road to get over here to then utilize this road or to go straight. I think we could solve some of that if I just went through here and I upgraded this pedestrian path. It's already a wide pedestrian path. If we just upgrade this to be a shared pedestrian and bike path, we'll be golden. Before we do anything else though, how groovy would it be if there was actually a bicycle path? Let's just see here. Honestly, part of me just thinks you can do it on the road, but there are 3 lanes. And because they're 3-lane roads, that's not going to work that great. That's actually the wrong piece. Hold on. No. Yeah, the 3-lane roads don't really lend themselves well to bikes. I was thinking we could sliver a little bike path right through here, bring it around and over, and then connect it up next to this subway station. Do we want to try it real fast? This is not what I wanted to start doing. But let's just see. If I was to take a 2-lane bike path, we're going to have to do all of this with anarchy. This whole section is basically just an anarchy-created mess. So if I don't use anarchy, I won't get anywhere. We're going to go like this. And I think, is this going to go, it's going to raise? It is. Let's go ahead and reduce this so that we're only going up. Let's see. We can make this happen. I'm confident in us. Like, where are you guys going? I don't want you to connect to the other road. But we would need to be at 875 to cross over. So I think we go ahead and do 875. All through here. Just send that straight. Okay. Then here, go like this, bring it down to the ground. If I was to turn anarchy off, could I just build this? I could. I'm only going to leave anarchy on so that I can come in here and just move the rocks out of the way. And now we have just another connection point here. Is it perfect? No, but it's going to hopefully stop all of these people from using that road there. We have a few trees that are peeking through. Those we can move. We've already got some folks running along here. That's great. Can I just get this tree? There we go. Okay. And it's right next to some bike parking. So we'll see if that helps out at all. How are you doing? Do we have everything unlocked? We do! Huzzah! Huzzah! All right, we're going to build out a new port. And I had a fantastic comment from Northeast Suburbanist who said, why don't we try to build some type of barrier island with a Jersey Shore type beach town filled with amusement clubs and such. I'm imagining something geographically similar to Mission Beach in San Diego or Seaside Heights, Coney Island in New York, New Jersey. Something that would make the port feel a little more protected while still feeling natural and settled. And I love this idea. So what I think we do, now we're going to have to buy a few more tiles here. Let's just go ahead and buy this whole strip. We don't need that one though. We've got unbelievable amounts of money. This is not the button I wanted. We've got a decent set of area here, but we do have the boats going both directions. Look at this mess. Hold on. While we're here, I might as well try to fix some of this. Like, this does not need to be connected to this. All of this can basically go. This can go. Goodness gracious. I just left it a mess, didn't I? We've got all this here. I'm thinking if we do a barrier island, I think I would rather be kind of like maybe right along this center area. I think we can get rid of that little section and have it like right about here. I'm thinking our barrier island maybe looks something like this. Now, she needs a lot of detailing. There's a lot of work we've got to do. Like, it's nowhere near done. But as this water continues to settle, I'm going to just keep coming back and lightly tapping on this smooth tool just to reset some of those terrain paints and those terrain colors. Make sure things look nice, but I think that's actually a pretty decent shape. It's also a lot of land to be adding to our city here, which I'm not mad about. But now we've got this barrier island that can protect the rest of our port. I'm going to quickly do a little road layout along this barrier island. We're going to have a road that connects up and in over this direction. But before we can do that, I think we got to do a little bit of key work over here. Let me see if I can even remember where my keys are. There we go. Okay, we want roads. I think this was deep rib. Am I crazy? Yeah, I might be crazy. No, this is a port road. This is a port road through and through. Yeah. This is a port road. All right, so then this is going to go all the way to here. And we're going to connect it straight on down to here and kind of end it. This is where this key ends. Because then I think this area here could all be a beach that kind of looks into this island here. I don't anticipate many people living along this island. But let's go ahead and figure out what we want to do in terms of a bridge. Now, I want to build a bridge that allows for boats to go underneath. And I think a suspension or drawbridge would be kind of fun. What's this? 4-lane drawbridge. The counterweights hidden in the massive abutments allows the bridge deck to split and swing upwards, providing clearance for boat traffic. This is one of those things. Can I just like click and drag it? Like kind of? Like, is this how this works? I don't know. I forget how this works. You know what? Let's do this. Let's first start by adding in our waterway. And I am going to send it around like this. Right through the middle here. And then we're going to use Anarchy just to reconnect it to what was already here. Does look a little funky there. If I just went like this and I rebuilt that, do you think we can make it work? I think so. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now we've got our bridged area. Let's turn Anarchy back off here. And let's go ahead and try to get this road across. If I go 30 up, does that not work? This is where, like, I don't understand. Or does this need to be in this area smaller? Yeah, like, does this little section here need to get tiny so that this bridged road can go over top? Yes, it does, in fact. Okay, let's do this. Let's take this. Let's zoom out. If this is the entrance to this island, I think I'd like to bridge right about here. We're 20 meters up. This is a 4-lane road. Oh, hitting all the wrong buttons. This is a 4-lane regular road. Let's grab the 4-lane road. Let's connect to here. And let's see what we got to do here. If we kept it at 180, that would be fine. Or we could give it a slight curve and interchange into there. But I like the idea of a second interchange here. I think that's probably quite valuable. Let's go ahead and raise this just enough that we can cross into this area. And then bring this down to the ground. It's at 16, 13. I'm fine with 15 for a road. We'll send it right to there. So here's our Absolutely terrible bridge. What? What? Okay, hold on. Delete all of this. Let's go from here and connect straight up and in. What does that look like? Terrible also? Not bad. That's frankly workable. And if I do constant slope, it actually looks better. Okay. This crosses you over into here. Then you come over here. And we're going to do this. I'm going to use a curve tool here. And I want to basically bring this up and curve it over like this, maybe? What's the percentage on that? 3? -3? It's a little bit longer than I wanted. We don't have a lot of island to work with here. But what we're going to do is bring this over. Maybe we actually send it further out than that. Go to here and go like this. Is that crazy, though? That's a lot of bridge for a very small island. I think actually let's do this. Let's bring this down to the ground. Then, not in bridge mode, we can make this work a little bit more in our favor. We'll give it a curve, but I don't want it to be anything too crazy. I think I want the curve to be something like this. Keep it 4-lane. Do we keep it 4-lane? Do we keep it 4-lane? I think we do for a moment. But here's what's going to happen. And I promise we are going to get to the port. But now that we've unlocked everything, I want to just lay out this road. I think this island becomes a one-way island. You go one way all the way around. So along here, we'll have a nice straight road going up that way. You come in here, you turn. You can head up this direction. And we're going to keep it pretty much straight the whole way. There's not much reason to switch that up. If I look at our land, it does get a little funky down here. So I think this right here is the downtown area, right? We send this down. Here's that roundabout. Right in the, or that, like, well, I guess it is a roundabout. Right in the middle, we'll do a road to cross over. Then at this point, we'll also have a road that comes over this way and maybe goes to here. There will also be a road that comes off of this road. And it's also going to come down here, then give a nice little curve and head over this way. Over here, we're going to get a little curve as well, maybe right to here. And then we're going to send it straight up and over. Okay, okay. Here, we'll do 2 opposing kind of cul-de-sacs. And here, we'll do an opposing cul-de-sac as well. Then, let's get a roundabout. I'm thinking medium. I'm thinking with trees. Something nice, something pretty. And then we can also do roundabouts with trees all along these little corners. Because then these can be, you know, fancy people houses. It's nothing crazy. It's just a small little island. I think right in the middle, why don't we go ahead and do a joint path? Actually, do we? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's do a joint path all the way through the center here. And we can even follow that up with a path that crosses right here. Turn on our topography lines. It's going to come down this way to here. Cross up to here. Right around here, we're getting a little bit hilly. Let's turn all of this off and just start vibing with it and seeing where it takes us. Is anyone going to use this? Probably not. But it's going to look nice. We'll do it along that front edge. I actually think right here, instead of going down like that, let's reconnect to existing geometry. We're going to go ahead and curve it. And then send it out straight right in the middle here. So it's only going to connect over to there, but I think that's fine. Now, we do have an opportunity to do a little bit more road work here. I think we'll take this two-way. We'll send it to here. We'll give it a curve. And we'll kind of mirror the other side a bit. I think just like before, that's not what I wanted. I want this instead. Okay, we'll do something like that. And I think we could also get away with maybe one other two-way road right here. And maybe this area has got a bit more service-focused things for the island itself. So we've got kind of service industry up this way. We've got some hotels and some beachy stuff, and then it leads into some larger residential rental properties, etc. But just trying to give this a little life without doing too much. I don't want to overdo it, you know? Let's do this right here, but I don't want it to change elevation at all, if I can help it. That's negative, that's plus 0.1. I don't mind that. Can I connect it into this easily? And then maybe here, just to kind of cap this off. Although I know we're kind of running out of space. That makes sense. Bring this back down to the ground. Place it here. Give it a tiny little cul-de-sac. This one's going to be just regular plain, nothing fancy. And actually, I think that one's going to be the same. Because again, this is going to be more commercially kind of work over there. All right. So now we have this barrier island. I'm just going to quickly come through. Okay. So now we got Blue Dog Isle right here. Kind of a call out to New Orleans. Oh my God. Wait, is this going to go through? I've not yet seen this happen. I've not yet seen this happen. I can't tell you how excited I am. We have to watch this go through. Problem is I hit 3 times speed. This is 3 times speed. This is 1 times speed. It's 3 times speed. It goes for a second, but this is exactly why I had to go through and just make the unilateral choice to unlock all, because that was not going to work long term. But let's go ahead and just watch this go underneath, because I'm so excited to see this happen. Oh my God, there's a horn. There's noise. And the barriers are going down. And the bridge is lifting. This is so cool. It's kind of wild we didn't have drawbridges in Cities Skylines 1. And now that I'm seeing a drawbridge in the game, my life is completely altered. I will never be the same man. This is amazing. Look at it go. We've got this moving and grooving. Now let's shift our focus and get back over here to our port. So now we have everything unlocked. We've got a lot of cool stuff. I'm not going to yet stress about passenger terminal. I'm not going to stress about employee canteen. I'm not going to do port security or emergency response yet. What I want to work on is the intermodal train. The intermodal train terminal enhances cargo transportation and handling by allowing reach stackers to transfer containers directly between ships and trains. What does this look like? Looks like this. And then let me just place it. I assume the train stops here. Okay. I think I understand this. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I think what we do, we have this road here. And I actually think that now that we kind of have a sense of how this all is supposed to look, or we have all this flat land, excuse me, I can change this up a little bit. I'm going to take a 2-lane port road. I'm going to take it. Isn't that what this is? Why does this road feel so much larger? 2-lane port gate road? Is that what I built this with? Let's do a 2-lane port road at this point, because now we're squarely in the port here, y'all. Let's send this straight on out to here. And I'm going to use this to my benefit. So let's grab a port key. Let's grab it right from this point. And I'm going to send it straight up at the 90, as close as we can get it. Now, in terms of size, I'm thinking what we could do, and I don't know if this is accurate. I'm just having some fun. I'm just a girl. Let's send this. Is this straight? Like, I'm assuming this other one is straight, but I don't actually know if that one's straight or not. It's not looking straight to me, but that doesn't mean much. If I was to do something like this, right? And like we have this kind of shape here. Thinking like a boat could pull in here and then back out and go forward again. Or do I also consider seeing how this is working? What if this was reduced? I don't want to mess it up yet because there's so much cargo on that, but I'm just going to do it. Screw it. You guys will be fine. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. What I think I do is we use this smaller option and we use this curve. Don't worry, buddy. Oh, no. It did end up disappearing. All right, that gives me a bit more space. Now what we can do, back this all up. Let's go back to my port menu. I wish there was an easier way to access this, to be totally honest. Let's send this out a bit further. Because I do also just like this kind of idea, but I think it would be kind of nice. Yeah, I like that. All right, it would be kind of nice to have something here as well. Again, I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that's how things work in the real world, but it's how it's going to work here. So let's go ahead and level all this out. Surprisingly, I haven't done any of this with Anarchy yet, which is kind of weird to me. I thought for sure I had to build the last one with Anarchy, but maybe not. Let's go ahead and get rid of this little nub. Get rid of this little nub. Okay, now, can I just use the upgrade tool in water? Bet your key. Gonna be that way. If we remove all these, and then I re-add it to this side, that actually worked fine. This one didn't, but I'm just gonna anarchy it and call it a day. Okay, so now that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and try to just straighten this out a bit. Now let's figure out what else we want to add to all of this. So I want the intermodal train. Of anything, to me, that's probably the most important. I don't think this is probably long enough for a large car. It is. It's long enough. Oh my God. The intermodal train. The problem is, am I even able to cross there? It looks like I am, because I guess it knows it has to be against a road. Like, what if the intermodal train was here? Right? Right? Can we do this? Before I get excited, let's be real. I'm already pumped. That does in fact work. Anarchy is off right now, which is crazy. Let's do this, and then let's give this a curve and just try to curve it in like this. Okay, hold the phone. Because what this means is that we can have our cargo line back. So the cargo is going to come from this depot. I'm setting this up right now. We have not had this cargo connection in so freaking long. There's only one cargo connection on here. This is going to come all the way up over here. It's going to connect into this cargo line. Wait for it to load. Beautiful. Then, what do we have going this way? We've got something going there. Does that dark green go past? It does. And that dark green comes over here to this cargo line. So this cargo line is already being serviced. But we could stop here. We don't have another cargo thing over here. This cargo line is bringing cargo down this road. I know this is a lot of movement. For that, I apologize. And it's connecting to here. Okay, so what's happening right now is we have cargo coming from Pendle. Pendle's cargo is being moved all the way past Palma, all the way through the top of the city, and coming over here into Northfield, dropping off that cargo here into Northfield. Then we've got another cargo line going from Hammer Isle, which looks to be turning and stopping right over here. Right over here at the airport. Oh my goodness! Excuse me, I have terrible hiccups. Then we have cargo coming over here from Hammer Isle that's moving down and around and coming over here to the airport. So we're getting cargo going this direction, and we're getting cargo going this direction. What I need to do is I need to just take this line from here straight back down. This doesn't need to go anywhere else. And here's my thinking for that. That's complete. I hate the color of it. But I think what we do is we actually take this line and we share this spot. Did that work? I think so. Okay. So now what we've got going on, I'm just going to zoom out a bit here and we're going to change the colors of everything so that I can see it with my old man eyes. I'm not old, but I just am struggling. Okay, cargo aisle, airport aisle cargo. This is going from the airport over to Hammer Isle. Let's make this a nice bright light green. Blackwood Cargo Interchange. So this is the one that goes from Whitestone Street Cargo Train Terminal, which is here in Northfield, over to Pendle Cargo Terminal. Got it. So I'm going to go back and I want to rename this just to make this a bit easier for me to understand. We're just going to call this is the old name. I'm just going to do this. We're going to name it Pendle. Just as like we want to keep the homage to the original. External cargo route. This is going from Pendle. It's connecting right here and taking the train stuff right on out. So we've got a train going this way, boop, boop, moving stuff right on out. We have one moving from this industrial area over to the center. We have one moving from this industrial area to the center, to the airport, and just kind of looping back around. Then we now finally have the reconnection from here in our central drop-off area over to our port area, which is great. However, you can't frickin' see the line. So let's change this to, I think we had it named P2P, like plane to port cargo route. And let's change this color and let's just get it to be something that's obnoxious and visible. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just make these obnoxiously visible so that I know what I'm working with, you know? Okay, there we go. So now this has got four or three separate cargo lines that stop in at 3. The P2P cargo line, the Pendle, which used to be called the Blackwood Cargo Interchange, and then the Airport Aisle Cargo. This is great. Now, it does look like Blackwood and Airport do share this exit, but I was going to say that should be okay, although it will back up. It will back up the red line, and if it backs up the red line, then we're kind of messed up here. Because really, I want to try to keep these separate. As you can see, we've got our cargo on the exterior, and then we have a passenger on the interior. Here, the passenger moves to the exterior and shares the exterior with the cargo. We already have cargo on this line. So there is a period here where I actually want them to cross over one another. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but I think if I can get this to work, if we can move these over this direction, which I think it worked, it appears to have worked. There's a brief moment where they're on the same track, but that would mean a cargo train could stop here. This guy could get out of the way, and then this other cargo train could cross over. But then we keep this exterior line reserved just for passengers. There's crossover moments, but that's not a big deal. I'm so excited about this. This is not the right train, is it? P2P cargo line. We've got 0.14 kilotons. We've got a lot of metal ore, plastic, metals, and steel, and she is off. Oh my God. Why am I so freaking pumped about this? Okay, so we've got traffic all here. I couldn't even tell you what the cause of the traffic is. This feels so self-inflicted. What'd you guys do? The moment that guy moves, it's going to be just fine. I do think here, let's just remove turn on anarchy. Remove this cross. And let's remove this light. There's not enough people coming down this way. We're going to pretend that they have a stop sign. They don't. We're going to pretend they do. What is your guys' problem? I'm going to look away. We're not getting into that today because that's like not even a real problem. They're making it up. Okay, there goes our first P2P. That's on its way. This P2P is coming in to load up. I don't think there is a ton of storage here. Let's see what's going on with this guy. What are you going to pick up? Anything? 0.09. Livestock, metals and plastics. Bet. Now, I cannot remember who called it out, but someone in the comments said if you click on these icons, it says you have a high resource cost. So look at what the resource requirement is. And for every single one of these, the resource requirement is stone. Funny enough, for all of them, they're stone. And part of the problem here is that one of our stone mines went abandoned. And now it's been destroyed, waiting for disaster response. Is disaster response coming? I don't see disaster response on its way. So what I think we do, let's just do this. Briefly delete this. This is like not what I was trying to do here, guys. I'm so sorry. Let me just place this back down, fill this back up with this. There we go. We got another stone quarry there. We can add more, but all of these icons throughout the map are all because they're requiring stone and they don't have stone. So that's what that problem is. But now we've got our rail reconnected. She's moving and grooving. She's probably underground somewhere now. She's going to come along here and she's going to drop off all of these fantastic pieces of cargo. Now let's figure out how to do the rest of this. So if I click on really anything, I go to medium port. Knowing we can fit the large, like I'm not mad about. The large is 4 deep and there's 4 there. Shut it down. Shut it down. We're going to do this. We're going to place this right here. We're then going to come in here with a 1-lane port road. This is technically a port gate road. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's just send it out straight to here. Because now we can place a second one of these. We can't. It's in the way. Oh, it's only 3. It was only 4. No. All right, let me do this. Let me do this. Remove this. If I was to use medium along this way, I think what we do... I keep clicking the wrong buttons. This happened last time. Medium port. Scroll down here. Let's grab the 2-lane port road. There's also a 3-lane asymmetrical port gate road, but this is the port road, which this is really what we want to use in here because this is... It's wide enough, I believe, for the whatever the name of those machines are that run back and forth. Now, this is just enough space for me to Sneak another one of these cheeky little guys in here, which is great. Okay. Then I can come back over here, grab the port gate road, and move this straight over to there. Is this small enough for a little warehouse? Ah, not quite. Not quite. But we could probably do one of these buildings. There's passenger terminal, employee canteen, pretty tiny. Port security, pretty tiny. And emergency response, also pretty tiny. I thought for sure these would be larger. I am going to do an additional crane somehow, somewhere. We could even do it right here. That's actually not too bad. Invalid shape. If I placed it here, I really want it here. But I think what we're running into is a problem. If I just briefly pause this, there's a problem with the pathfinding. But if I do this without that other stuff in the way, this can go here. Then this can connect a bit better into here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Wrong buttons abound. Come down here. Grab this. Let's do continuous. And then, frankly, turn everything off but snap to. That's beautiful. And then this can go just like this. Bam. It's going to cause that to have to do some weird turnaround, but that's okay. If I look at my cargo lines, I already have pretty decent connections. Right, we've got some going that way. We have some going this way. They're the only two exterior connections. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to move. Nope, none of this. We want this. We want this. We want this. We want this. We're just going to move this particular connection to here. So they only have to come to here and then go out. This here is just going to sit there. It's not actually used, but we're leaving it there for the sake of looks. Now, in some of the pictures I've been looking at, just trying to learn more about what ports look like, it does appear that a lot of your cargo containers are kind of stacked here at the front, and that's where most of them would go. So I think what we do is we fill this whole area with containers. I just think that would make the most sense. If I did want to have this back here, it is the same size, and it may fit there. Then we'd have a weird 2-lane road problem. I say, let's focus our efforts over here first. It does appear I can just place this just fine. Can I do a large one here? No, it's just too much. Can I just back it up? Yeah, there we go. Back it up, place this here. Now we have one tile along that side. Do I think I could fit two here? 1 and 2 would mean we'd have enough room for a one-way road potentially in the middle. So let's place a one-way road there. Let's then place a two-way road here as well, just to give you another break in all this. I don't believe it can go here. Can it go here? Not really. Here? No. What if it just went here? Which kind of feels like the natural place for it to be anyway. If that was there, this one-lane road could go to here. Not bad. Can we fit a tiny guy in here? No, we cannot. So what the heck goes in these two? We got tons of cargo there, and we have an opportunity for a road here. So let's see what that would look like. If I did the 2-lane, I don't think this fits. But if I do a 2-lane port entrance road, I know it's not a port entrance, but what are you going to do? Then we grab the one-way road, which I can't even see where it ends. There we go. We send that straight on through. Now all of this is connected. This is one of two ways. This we could even upgrade so that it goes this way, right? Now we just need to fill this section out. We could send a large this way, but I think if I did a medium and a small, that's probably just as good. Nah, that doesn't fit, so it's not. But we could do a medium. Could I do a second medium? No, because there's no road connection. Like this would fit here, but there's nowhere for it to connect to, which is the problem. If this was reduced to a smaller size, that could work. But I think what I want is I want to actually build a different port road, connect to everything, and move it straight on down. There we go. Do we need some surface work here? Sure, but we're getting there. We can actually stick these to the road. I'm fine with that. We've got a few different kinds of storage yards. These don't fit, unfortunately. I so wish this would fit. I so wish this would fit. I would have to bump that out, and I just don't think I want to do that. Instead, do we do a large cargo? I don't know. I think a medium is a stellar building. Like, that is a stellar building. Let's do a medium there. And we could probably do a medium behind it as well. Right? Have two. Trees in the middle. Then grab a port road. Snap to everything. Although this right here, I used maybe this road. Yeah. Because technically this is like not really a part of it in terms of like those machines needing access to stuff. But I can see how that doesn't make a lot of sense either. So let's place this here. Connect that in. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now, I was following this because we have this building, but what I'm thinking is we remove Ember Shade. And let's grab some like bulk storage or something, like something I don't already have. We could do bulk storage maybe along this side. I'm starting to feel like this building here doesn't make any sense. I would say, what if we moved it over here? Come back to it later. Because then, here's what this does for me. Here's what this does. Remove all of these. Or at least remove two of them. Nah, remove them all. Remove them all. Get rid of them. You don't need them. If we get rid of those, I can then, first of all, upgrade this section of road so it has kind of the port style to it. Just like that. We can maybe send that to here and then let it join in. Okay. What we can think about then is if I had this, if I didn't connect it to a road, would it fit kind of along this long route? It would. In here, I think we do more warehouses. Can I fit along? I cannot. If I got rid of this, though, I could. So what if we back both of those up? Let's come together. I feel it in my bones now, you know? We do a long one here. The small guy we do right here. Then grab the port road that we need. Send it straight up. Really as far as it'll go. Turn everything off but angle for a moment. Switch over to... Actually, delete this. Let's upgrade this road to the port road, but snap to existing. Yep. Send this straight along here at the right angle. Correct. Delete, delete. Then, can we still fit this back here? We cannot without anarchy. I'm willing to do it. I also think, frankly, I'm willing to do that, but I'm not going to. I think that's pretty decent. That would look kind of cool too. I'm going to do that one because that just looks different. And I like that it looks different. I mean, if I was to do this, I would probably want to do it down here like this. I know there are loading bays here, but what's saying it's not connected? For some reason, Move It doesn't let me click on these things. If I just get rid of that, are you guys still connected? You are. That water's got to pulse through everything. That's okay. Now, I think I do consider placing the rest of these buildings that make this port great. So let's start with the passenger terminal. Passenger ships stop here to load and unload. Passenger terminal allows passengers to board and disembark. Requires placement on port keys or port roads. So, what do you look like? You're not too big, actually. And what we could consider is placing it back this way is like way too far away from everything. I wonder if we move this terminal. We move this ferry depot, not terminal, ferry depot, somewhere else. And with that out of the way, like for example, there's no ship here. This moment doesn't make as much sense as it maybe did originally. So hold on. Pause the game. B. Delete. Here's what we do. I've got it. We take the port key wall, right? And we go from here straight across to here. Right? Bam. Upgrade this guy into a 2-lane road, snap to anarchy, get rid of that little one-way moment we had going on here. Do I hate this? I think that I do. And I think we're going to change this up. So please hold. Okay, for some reason, all of a sudden, these buildings don't work. I think it's because of this like anarchy moment we had to do. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. Okay, now fill this in. Okay, reduce this. Okay, that's going to cause crazy problems. Let's just get the road working first. We're going to hit unpause in a minute. Okay, so now all of this is set up correctly. This is set up correctly. This is set up correctly. That's going to look totally whack. Let's move this to here. We're using anarchy, but I bet you I could just move this over a little bit. I can move it over a little bit. If I took this building, turn anarchy off, move this building to right here. Yeah. If you do anarchy once in here, you got to do it all the time. I don't like that. So let's turn that off. I don't want to do it that way. It's just going to make building this so not fun. All right, let's grab this road. Let's thread this road right through here. Complex curve to here, to here, to here. Bam. There it is. Comes along the back of this road, which is great. I don't love how just open this is back here, but there's not much else we can do about it, if we're being totally honest. What I could do, I still haven't hit unpause yet. I think I'm afraid. But what I could do is I could grab this 2-lane road and we send this at the 90 just straight on out. We remove this road. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Let's switch back to this road. We're going to upgrade this road. Maybe here. And we will do a straight path, but just enough to cover the entrance. Like, it doesn't need to be anything crazy. And then maybe this... Nope, that wasn't right. Maybe this then curves down and in. From here, we go like this. We go like this. Yeah. Because then we can upgrade this into the appropriate size road so that those machines, whatever they're called, can move all the way around. I like that these are facing different directions. I wish I was able to place another one. I unfortunately am not. We're going to scoot this down a bit. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think we do want to place some container storage. This is large container storage. This is medium. I could see us getting into some medium, but I'd like it along this road. Just like that. I mean, frankly, if we're going to do it, let's do medium, and then let's just fill all this with small. Actually, I'm sorry, guys. Let me just replace these without snapping to the road. Yeah, there we go. We've got this guy here. Great. It needs a lot of surface work. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit on pause. This water over here is about to be crazy. I'm so sorry for you guys. This garbage truck is not going to have a nice day. It's just not. It's in a terrible location. And honestly, the water didn't go as bad as I thought it would. I thought that was going to be horrendous. Okay. Yeah, it overflowed a little bit. But if I move this guy over to here, it actually doesn't even want the key wall. If I move this to here, shut up, it backs right up and in. It's absolutely gorgeous. But now we need to reconnect the ferry line, which is, or the minor seaway, I guess. No. There is ferry line tool, narrow boatway. If I just narrow boat like that, and then I connect these like this, can't those ferries kind of get where they gotta go and it's not a big deal? Maybe we do another one straight down like this, just so you can come down and over, but like, you should be fine. So now this is where our ferries are. Right. And we use another one of these port roads, but we use an alleyway port road. Okay. Follow me. Get ready. It's going to be great. We're going to put a key wall on one side, just like so. Turn the key wall off, bring it straight down, connect it in. Then reduce the size of my brush and just clean this up a little bit. Once the water subsides, that becomes a parking lot. Done and done. This can all stay like this. That's fine. We've got a number of these guys here. Let me clean up this wall a bit. Now you've got some just like rolling hills there. Got a little bit of a moment there as well. Love that. Okay. This is looking phenom. Let me go ahead and do a little bit of detailing and a little bit of surface work. And then I think our port is basically going to be rip-roaring and ready to go. Oh, wait, hold on. No, pause. Back up. You're so full of it. We were going to do a passenger moment right here, and I guess decided to forget that. Let's do this. Get rid of Anchor Street. Get rid of all the buildings along Anchor Street. This is a port area. We don't have time for not port area buildings. Goodbye. Let's build this road right here. Snap to an angle. I know it says it's in water, and that's because it is in water. We're going to place it here in water, just like that. We're then going to get rid of this particular guy. And let me just fix this up. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Then, let's go ahead and change the key setup here. So now that's set up correctly. And now we can even include this passenger moment. Port or port key required. Port road, no water overlapping. Help me understand your problems. Okay, hold on, pause. Get rid of this. It's all this. There's all this stuff in the way that's causing an issue. If all that stuff is gone, do you just need to go on the ground? No, it clearly says port road or port key required. Are you not a port key? I'm pretty certain you are. If I do my eyedropper tool and I do this, it says port key. Okay. With that knowledge in our back pocket, what is your problem? In water, yes. Intentional. Oh, hold on. Right there. Wow, that's a finicky little guy. That's terribly finicky, but this is also now right next door to our key, which is really nice. Let's go ahead. Not our key. It's right next door to our ferry, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and reconnect kind of all this up. We need to get additional lines here. Then we're going to do some detailing. Okay. We're looking pretty good. Let me go ahead and set up a quick line for this guy. And then we're going to see about getting some detailing done. Let's first make this like a really nice deep purple color, I think. Just matches the style. But here's our very first port for passengers. So this definitely needs some work. Okay, I've done some more detailing. We've got this guy moving. We also have our very first passenger ship with people on it. You'll see there's one leaving now, but this has nothing on it. The one problem I have, though, did I build this wrong? Because there's like a raised section of ground here that I can't seem to get rid of, but maybe I'm not supposed to get rid of it. It looked worse a second ago. Now it looks much better. So let's go over some of the things we did here. First of all, we're getting all these beautiful people, 9 whole humans, to get off of here. I'm thinking I probably should do a second one over the other direction. But we're getting our first passenger ship here in the city. I want to see, does this have like an animation when it arrives? Because if it does, that would be just like kind of wild. Okay, well, see, this is the problem with like what... I think it's something with the ground, but I can't seem to make it work. All right, does this thing open? Or is it just cosmetic? It's just cosmetic. It's already on its way. Now, I will say, I don't necessarily think this is a great color. So let's change that, because I think this boat could look so much cooler with a nicer color. Just going to ignore whatever's happening there, because that looks crazy to me. What if we make it like a really nice soft blue like that? That's not bad. Is it something with... I mean, this turnaround... Hold on. This turnaround, I think we could kind of help it out a little bit. If we were to use the complex curve, we complex curve like this. Now... the passenger ship can park and then come back around, which I think is great. I just don't understand why this land had to be raised in front of it. So maybe I've just done it incorrectly. I don't really know. Does this guy have anybody on it? 13. All right, let's go ahead and give this one more connection, and then I'm going to show you all that we've built, or all the detailing. This will go over this way. This is going over to Rosalind Heights. I'm so excited that we've got some ships. This is just amazing. Let's change that color, because I think that color is probably just equally as terrible. Let's do this one with maybe like a really faint yellow color. We'll see what it looks like when the first ship arrives. Okay, so let's review what we've done. Over here, all I did was add in better surface coverage. I'm actually going to turn off the overlay. I just added in some better surface coverage, which I think looks really nice. I added in a small parking lot over here by our ferry depot, which I think also looks pretty decent. And I reworked the tree line along the back of these, not grain, but like raw material depots, just so that looks a little bit nicer as well. In this center area, I didn't do anything. I just left it open warehouses with no trees or anything, like just flat, dead land. Nobody touches it. Nobody takes care of it. Just sits there. Then over here, I reworked the transformer station so it's a bit more aligned with the actual rail station. And then I just filled it in with trees. And then behind our cargo port, look at this. Like, why does it do that? Look at the ground. Do you see the ground here? Like, I'm sorry. If I go here and I grab this and try to lower it, it lowers everything else, but it doesn't lower that section. And I don't know why that is. And even with Anarchy, like, I can only go so far with this. Yeah, I don't know what I've done. So if someone in the comments can tell me what I've done wrong, I mean, this thing is like, looks fine now, but in reality it's not. And 2 people are leaving. Oh, okay, cool. So we've got people who come off here. We've given them parking lots so that they can park near the passenger terminal. But then I also placed behind them the Park View Eatery. And my thinking was, you get out of the terminal here, you can come out here and sit and wait for your friends at the park and ride to come pick you up, take you out. Or if they're meeting you from the city, you could actually just use this pathway and walk into the port area, since you're not going to be carrying cargo into the port area that way. Okay, so now that we've reviewed kind of generally the little bit of detailing we've done, we have a few more buildings to place before we can be done here. We need to add the employee canteen. This is a place for workers to rest, enjoy a meal or a cup of coffee between shifts, increases employee happiness. So let's see, where do we want this guy to go? It's not very big, if I recall. Yeah, it's pretty small. There's a ton of employees around this area, and we probably could slot it in somewhere like this. But I think having it maybe a little bit away from everything might be nice. Like right here, we've got 2 parking lots. So maybe we sneak in the employee canteen over this way. Could go there without removing anything, but I actually think we get rid of this path. And then we can put the employee canteen right here. Although, for some reason, we have trees in the middle, which is not ideal. There we go. So we'll have that right here. It's right next to both of these parking lots. You can easily access it if you need to. We also then have the port security, a base of operations for port security. Their presence deters criminal activity in the vicinity of the port. Now, for now, what I think we do with this is we could put it over here, or I think we actually slide it in somewhere over here and let it do its thing from this side. Then we also have the emergency response. Again, these aren't big buildings and they don't really require a lot of space. I think putting it all the way down here doesn't make any sense. Could we sneak it in somewhere that we already have built? We do have the ability to do this. We get rid of this and we put the the emergency response right here. It's overlapping this surface, but I think what we do is we just grab this surface and we just move it over here, because I do like having this surface here. There we go. All right, so then bam, it fits literally perfectly. Look at that. We've got emergency response vehicles. Let's just give them a little bit of tree coverage. Nothing crazy, just a little row of trees on both sides. Little apple trees. That's perfect. All right, and that makes up our port. She looks so nice. I'm so happy with how this turned out. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members-only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.